Okay, this is a video on how to replace the Infinity 6100M mic cable that has basically rotted away over time. You can see that this one has lost all of its rubber outside layer that is supposed to protect it, and someone's wrapped electrical tape over the outside just to protect it, but even that didn't protect it all the way. In fact, we've lost some of our connection, mostly through this outside shielding. So we're going to replace it with the new replacement cord that we've made. So first thing that we're going to do is get rid of this old one. You can see that we've already unplugged it from the boat. We've taken off this coupling from the boat, and that should be good. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is take off these screws. Okay, now that we have all the screws out, we can see that two halves come apart pretty easily. Let's keep this rubber button inside of it for right now, so we don't lose it, and make sure everything else is okay. So here is the part that we're going to take out. So if we just lift this guy up, you'll notice that there's a connection right here that goes from the mic to the board itself, but the connection that we're after is this bottom one. So we can actually leave this one in. What we're going to do is just pull this guy out. He might be a little bit sticky, but he should come right out. And this is the connector that we're after right here. So we can now discard our old beat up microphone cable and start installing our new one. So just being careful of that connected wire, just put this to the side a little bit, flip it around the other way. What you're going to do is make sure that you're putting this in the right way. If you see, there's two little lines on the back here, and those lines actually slot into that opening right there. Let me show you. Get in focus. Just between that opening. So we're going to put it in just lightly, and then we're going to push evenly both sides until it's all the way down. And you should see those ridges, see if we can focus it, go all the way down to the bottom. So it's being stopped now, so it should look something like that. Okay, and then you should have some good mechanical retention after that. Okay, so we'll now swing this back, and we're going to put this strain relief. You can see how that kind of comes to a T right there at the top. Well, there's a little slot here in the bottom of the mic case. We're just going to sit those two arms of the T into that hole. And I'll put it in there and then we'll show it. Okay. Now you can see that that's basically secured in there like that. Get that in some light. Okay, so we'll make sure that the lines are kind of split on this guy. That will help us give us more strain relief. And then put your two sides back together. Make sure everything's nice and seated. You can see that this is seated nicely. This one's going to be seated nicely on its hole, and also that one. Okay, so just make sure everything's seated nicely. This grommet up here kind of slid down on mine, so I'm going to pull him back up. There we go. He's in the case now. Okay. Let's make sure that this button is still in place, and we're going to put the clamshell back together. Now while you're doing this, I've noticed that the button likes to come kind of out a little bit, so just make sure that you've kind of wiggled it right back into spot place. Okay, looks like we're all together. Check the bottom. That T looks like it's inside of the case, so we're good. Feels really good as far as the strain relief. Okay, so we're going to flip it back over, and we're going to put the screws back in. Okay, there we go. It's back together and it's looking really good. This rubberized cable should be a lot better than the original one. This is actually made for what we're using it for. It's actually made for boat intercoms and stuff like that, and so this should last just as long as all the other cables on the Infinity system, and now longer just because it's brand new. So it actually looks really good. The strain leaf on the bottom blends right in. In fact, I think they did a better job than the original strain relief, just because of how anemic this is, and this is actually a little bit more robust. Okay, and that's the entire process for how to replace the cable on the Infinity 6100M microphone. And if you guys have any other questions or comments, let me know. And thanks for watching.